You are listening to the B.I.G. Show with your hosts, Calvin and Garland. The B.I.G. Show is a weekly breakdown of the sports world from a fan's perspective. Here are your hosts, Calvin and Garland.
It is the big show.
Yeah.
And we're back on
We
a
back.
regular basis. As you know,
Yes.
I'm Calvin. That guy over there is Garland. And we're live right now on YouTube. You can get us on all the podcast platforms. If you have Spotify, when I download it, you'll be able to see our beautiful faces. I'm donned out in the spring summer loser gear. My guy Garland donned out in the fall winter loser gear.
Yeah.
So we just, we over here representing the underdog right now.
We were
What's
just
going
joking
on,
about,
Garland?
hey, I'm feeling good, man. We just joking about how once football season starts, people forget we have a baseball team and we're season ticket holders. And I was just joking, like, I forgot there's a game tomorrow that we have tickets to. And so, I got to find my Oriole hat somewhere, my Oriole gear to put it on for tomorrow because I definitely didn't transition. Maybe I need to transition back because at least the Orioles ain't do me like I was did on Sunday. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I was so, and we're gonna talk about this. I mean, first of all, now before we get into it, how are you? Let me ask you that. How you doing?
Whatever you were about to say, I'm that. I'm still
Okay,
there. I have not gotten past it yet.
okay.
So we can roll right into that.
Now, yeah, let's just go. We ain't got to preamble this. Let's just go ahead and get right on up into it. And so, man, let's talk about that Sunday night collapse. The Baltimore Ravens faced the Buffalo Bills in a rematch of the AFC divisional round of the 2024 playoffs. The Bills had the 2024 DEI MVP Josh Allen, and the Ravens returned most of their team with first team All Pro and 2023 MVP Lamar Jackson. And things were going well for the Ravens. I mean, it was going their way, Calvin. They scored on their first 7 possessions of the game. I mean, it was looking, I'm like, yo, we got a powerful offense. We doing things. And we had a 40-25 lead with 7+ minutes left in the fourth quarter. But that's not the way it ended, my friend. The Bills staged a major comeback. The Ravens had over a 90% chance of winning that game. And in the final 7 minutes, that all went away as the Bills stormed back to win 41-40 on the last second field goal by Matt Prater as time was expiring. Now, let's just look at some statistics. Baltimore, I mean, this was a game. I saw somebody's TikTok. They want to be like, yo, you ain't really watching the game because the Ravens won. I know we lost in the score, but when you look at the stats of this mug, if there's any, I guess any solace to this, we performed well, at least offensively. Lamar was 14 of 19 for 209 yards. It wasn't a big passing game. He averaged about 11 yards per pass. He did throw for 2 touchdowns, though. And he had a 144.4 quarterback rating for the game. Derrick Henry, of course, he led the Ravens in rushing. Outside of that crucial fumble in the fourth quarter, he had 18 carries for 169 yards, averaging 9.4 yards per carry, 2 long touchdowns, 149 yards. Lamar had a touchdown on the ground as well. He ran 6 for 70. As a team, they rushed for 238 in the game. Even in the receiving core, they had a 209 yards receiving core. Zay had 7 for 143, 1 touchdown, and DeAndre Hopkins caught a dime in double coverage. Lamar just laid it in there like people was like, yeah. On the text line, I was like, man, yo, he put a dime there, double coverage, threw a dime to DeAndre Hopkins. He caught a touchdown 2 for 35, but nobody did too much more of anything else. Mark Andrews only had 1 catch on the first drive for 5 yards. Rashad Bateman had 2 catches for 10 yards. And so not really too much going on there. Defensively, though, that's where they struggled. I mean, they gave up to Josh Allen for, I'm sorry, pulling up his stats. He went 33 for 46, 349, two touchdowns, only one sack taken, no turnovers. They rushed for 108 yards, but it was in the air where the Ravens really got ate up. I mean, we really didn't have any sacks. We had one sack that entire game. One sack. That's not going to do it against a MVP type quarterback. And so I will say this, Calvin. I was so distraught that on my way home, I called 106.7 The Fan. They had an after show after the game.
Not your caller.
Big G from Harford County. Why am I sitting outside of my house at 12 o'clock at night? I went watch the game at my boy's house, who lives in Falston. Shout out to Darren. What's up, my man from high school? Went over his house to watch the game. Drove back. He's about maybe 15 minutes from the house. And why? Calvin, I'm sitting outside my house in the driveway, waiting to get on the radio. Big G from Harford County. That's how upset I had to get it out. I had to get it out.
Yeah.
Yo, that's bad.
This is Big G for Harford County.
Yeah.
I just want to know why. I mean, we had to get
Yo, I had my points so ready. It went so good. He was like, "All right, well, thank you for your call." I mean, Big G is saying everything else that everybody else was saying.
He was like, and one more thing. They was like, "Hurry up, Big G. We got, right. we coming up on the break."
Right. And another thing. Bro, I'm sitting outside my house waiting to get on the air. I'll never do that. So, bro, what were your immediate thoughts about the Ravens after that loss?
First of all, I called the radio since I dedicated Lady of My Life back in the early 2000s to my then girlfriend on 95.9 Lolo Show.
Well, Lolo Show. This is Lolo.
Yo, so I'm still not over it. Mm-hmm. But, you know, it gives you time to, these couple days that we have, it gives you a little time to look at things with a little less scrutiny. I want to take some positives from it, and definitely the offense is a positive. We can talk about Bateman not doing much. We can talk about Andrews not doing much, but they didn't have to do anything, you know, and that was the beauty of it. We didn't need them to do anything. The Ravens dominated with 3 players, and it on offense, and it was amazing. Yes. It was great to see Derrick Henry still being in form. It was great to see Zay coming back in a vengeance after missing the 2 playoff games last year. It was great to see Lamar just being Lamar. And the one thing that we can say about Lamar, especially in game 1 against a contender, is that he did not flinch. Lamar gave them everything he had to give. Now, he generally doesn't flinch in the regular season anyway, but it's still good to see. And it's good to see that he did not look like he had any type of rust on him. Sure. Same thing with Derrick Henry and same thing with Zay Flowers. So I want to take that as a positive. When you drop in 40 points against a contender, then you're really giving it to him. Right. On the other side of the ball with the defense, we pretty much, if the games were 3.5 quarters, the Ravens would probably have 6 or 7 Super Bowls right now. But they're not. But I say that to say, again, we're going against the reigning MVP, and they held them in check for 3.5 quarters. Mm-hmm. That is a contending Super Bowl contending team. That's something positive you can take away from that, because you don't expect a team like the Browns next week to give you the same type of fight throughout the game. You don't expect it. Now, you never know what's going to happen. It's the
Right.
NFL, it's a division game, but you have to take some positive from that. Remember, you and I talked about, and you got on me about it. I was like, if anything I get worried about, it's just a little bit of the rust. You was like, no, they professionals, they professional. You
Mhm.
know who was rusty out there, and it showed? Jair Alexander.
Yeah.
He was getting the jelly
Yeah, we talk
spread
about
all on
preseason, people
his
playing in the
toast.
preseason. Yes.
They were killing him. The PI on fourth down that he didn't have to do. You know, the one play that people might have missed, and it's one of them in the moment plays that you got to be thinking about it, and I can't really fault him for it. But that last drive where they got that ball down and before they kick the field goal, if Jair lets him go in that end zone
Yeah.
and score that touchdown, we got time
That's a
left to
it was
come
such a
back
bang
down.
bang play though. I
Yeah, that's
mean,
what I'm saying.
you're
It's
not
it's one
thinking
of
about
them
that.
in the moment
Yeah, you're in
plays.
the
You
moment.
got
You're not
to
thinking
be
about I should let him score.
someone literally has to say to you, if
Yeah.
they look like they're gonna score, let them score.
Right.
But you also want your veterans to have that type of leadership. But he was getting toasted and they were targeting him. Um, it- I'm I'm gonna say it like this because we killing the defense.
Hmm.
Josh Allen, as good as he is, he got a tip touchdown that was a lucky play.
Mm.
He got that Jair Alexander fourth down that was a big chunk of yards.
Mm.
He got that last second at the half pass
Field
to
goal.
get the
Hmm.
3 points.
Mm.
He got another ball that was actually tipped up to the tight end that he caught back on the one after it tipped up 2 times. So I say that to say we can talk about Josh Allen slicing us up, but when you look inside them numbers that Josh Allen had, a lot of those passing yards were plays that have a very low percentage of working because they weren't actually standard good plays, I'll say. And I don't want to take anything from them, but I'm trying to give something to the defense to say they didn't play very well, but they didn't play as horrible as the score suggests. What they
Hmm.
didn't do was close out the game. And that's where you know how I feel, and you feel the same way. And the national media is starting to feel the same way because I said that on social media yesterday. Like Lamar is always taking the heat for
Right.
this, while the head coach is just living like ain't nothing wrong with him. He's the man. They're starting to see that it's him.
Right.
It's him with a lot of these. And you're big on he'll give you 2 or 3 losses in a
I,
year.
what do I say? What have I said in the history of this
You
show?
you're big on it. And I'll
John
give you that.
Harbaugh is good for 1 to 2 losses a season.
And it's just like when it gets down to crunch time, that little butthole gets tight. Like it's like, what are you doing, sir? Like I need that 4th and 2.
Hmm.
I'll be the first one to say if he goes for it and doesn't make it, people are killing him the next day for not kicking that ball off. I will say that.
But
However,
you got
you
the
got
best
Derrick
running
Henry,
back and you got the
you
best
got
running
Lamar
quarterback in the
Jackson.
history of the NFL.
They haven't stopped you all day. They got to stop a couple times right before that, but the rest of the day they haven't stopped you.
Right.
They have not stopped you. You have to trust your guys in that situation. And even if you go for it and don't make it, they're in field goal range. Okay, let them kick the field goal. You got
You
time on
got
the clock.
timeouts.
You
You
got
got your
time on
timeouts.
the clock.
Yeah.
It's just like he gets down and he becomes what his political party is, conservative.
Well, you know what? Since we on Harbaugh, I was going to get on Harbaugh. You know what? I'm going to remind you. First of all, let me say this. My first thought after the loss was you can't consider your team a Super Bowl contender and lose a game like this in that fashion. You know, we've been putting the Ravens up there. They're contenders. They're contenders. They're going to get in the Super Bowl. But a team that is a Super Bowl window is open, you get into the Super Bowl type team, they don't lose games like this in this manner. Okay. And for me, like we just kind of touched on, to me, the game boiled down to clock management. Now, there were two specific series that I thought kind of pretty much decided the game. It was the one at the end of the first half. Baltimore has the ball. They're at the 2 minute warning. They're inside the 30. They put in their 2 minute package. They take Henry out, who had just had a big run to get him down there. They put in Hill. Nothing against Hill. He's good. You got your 2 minute package in. Hill gets stripped on the ball, fumble, they recover, they lose 15 yards. They run two more plays. They don't gain any yards. They wind up getting the field goal. Well, they give the ball back. That's really a situation where you could have really shut the door on the Bills by giving them the ball back with less than 10 seconds left and either a touchdown or a field goal. You got the field goal, but you give it back to them with 35 seconds. They get two passes. I think the last pass that was, somebody up there, they need to give that man extra money who was working the clock. Whoever's working that clock on that last play, really, there was zero. But they gave him, the 1 second. They kicked the field goal. Although Baltimore comes out and they score right after the half, you still gave up. That 3 points is really a
Big,
deciding factor. It's
big,
big in
yes,
the game.
big.
And then when they had the lead at 40-25 and you have a 7+, my guy who I was watching the game with, he was like, yeah, maybe we can rest starters. And I was like, no, it's no time to rest starters. They need to
This
milk.
ain't preseason.
Right. This ain't preseason.
This ain't
I said
preseason.
they need to milk the clock. They should not give this ball back at least until it's under 5, around 4. They at least you need a nice little drive, even if you don't score. Hold the ball, possess the ball, maybe get a field goal, or at least that you're not giving it back to them. And with a lot of time, I think they took less than 2 minutes on the drive and they started giving it back. And then they fumbled and then it kept on. And so for me, it just spiraled. And that's John Harbaugh. I don't know if you remember this. Last week, I was talking about Harbaugh and we were talking about the teams. Maybe it was the week before when we talked about making our division picks. I said there's one consistent thing about these teams over the years. It's John Harbaugh. And was it time to move on from John Harbaugh? I raised that question. He's the one consistent since the post Ray Lewis, Karen Lamar era. I was telling somebody today, he's the white Doc Rivers. There's no one that has gotten more mileage out of one big win than John Harbaugh. He
I'm
won
a,
one Super Bowl
yeah, I can see
umpteen
it.
years ago
I can see
and
it.
ain't sniffed it since.
I
he
can
can't.
see it.
He can get a team to the playoffs, but he can't get them to the big game. And then, like you said, he gets tight in these games. John Harbaugh coach teams have blown 17 double-digit leads in the second half, the most since 1991. Um, I really believe, and I posted this on Twitter. If the Ravens don't make the Super Bowl, it's time to move on. It's time to move on. Someone gave an example of Andy Reid in Philly. Andy, he had a nice run, and then towards the end of the run, they were just, they were making the playoffs, but they wasn't going far. They were just kind of stuck in a good success. Like Steeler fans are frustrated with Mike Tomlin for just being good during the regular season, but they never win anything in the playoffs. That's how the Eagles was. And the Eagles decided we're going to shake it up. They went through a couple rough years, and then they've been in the 2 of the last 3 Super Bowls and won one. And so
And it was a great trade. It was a great move for both teams
it was
because
a great
Andy
move for
Reid
him.
went to Kansas
And
City
he got to change
and
up his
just
thing.
become one of the
Yeah.
best head coaches ever in the game. Hall
The
of Fame
head coach,
coach
yeah.
easily.
The
Easily.
head coach that's in KC is not the head coach that was in Philly.
Nope. Not at all.
Not
Not
at
at all.
all. And so is it time to move on from Harbaugh if they don't win the Super Bowl?
Absolutely. Now, I thought you were going to say right now, but if
No,
they
you
don't
can't
win
move
the
on from
Super
him.
Bowl, absolutely, it is absolutely time, and I think even the owner would have to agree with that. Now, we always say, who can we get better and this and that. At this point, it's not even about who we can get better. It's about who can we get them over that hump.
I agree.
I firmly believe that when they hired the offensive coordinator,
Monken.
Monken, when they hired Monken, that the Ravens had him in mind as Harbaugh's successor, but I was seeing it as they're going to win a Super Bowl within the next 2 years and be a successor. Now, the issue that we're going to face now, let's say they do win the Super Bowl this year, somebody's going to back that truck up for Todd Monken. And, we're going to have to find somebody totally new, because I still believe that a Harbaugh Super Bowl or a Harbaugh non-Super Bowl, I think this is his last year as the head coach of the Ravens. I think if he wins a Super Bowl, he'll either go out to media or something, or be something inside of the Ravens organization. But as far as head coach, I think it's really over for him. Now, this is just my opinion. He's been there a long time. I tell you what, I wouldn't be opposed to. And I kept saying that Aaron Rodgers is going to get Mike Tomlin fired. I would not be opposed to, ever had a head coaching trade, let's trade Harbaugh for Mike Tomlin. I guarantee you.
Yeah, he did. Belichick got traded. You know that he got traded from
He wasn't a head
the
coach at
Jets.
that
He was a
time,
head coach at the Jets, and the Jets had signed him, and he had decided he did not want to be with the Jets anymore. And he was only there for like 2 days, and he wrote
That
them a
was a
one
trade?
sentence letter. Yeah, they wound up, the Jets trading him to the Patriots.
Okay. I thought he just left and signed with them. I didn't know it was an actual
Nope,
trade.
nope. Yeah, it was an
Well,
actual trade.
I wouldn't be opposed to that. I guarantee you, Mike Tomlin does not lose that game Sunday night. He does not lose that game. I mean, it's all right. Let me get back on the game. Now I will say
Real
there
quick before you
are.
go on, just to confirm it, yes, it was. The Jets received the Patriots' first round pick, which was 16th overall, the fourth round pick, and the seventh round pick in the 2000 and 2001 drafts. And in return, the Patriots received Belichick along with a fifth round pick in
And
2001 and a seventh round pick in 2002.
and a hell of a lot of Super Bowl rings. They also
Yes,
received that.
yes.
Um, Now let's actually go back to so I touched on we both touched on some positives, some negatives as units as a whole.
Right.
I did talk about
Oh,
Jai
one more thing.
Alexander.
Can I say something real quick
Yeah,
before you can remember your point? Also, I was a little concerned about the special teams,
A
particularly
little.
the coverage on the kickoffs.
Yeah, man.
It was not good at all. I mean, that coverage on the kickoffs, especially the first one, he took it all the way back to the 50. And I mean, they were routinely getting to at least the 30 or the 40 on these kickoffs. They had a little mix up on the punt. Luckily, it hit the Buffalo player first before it hit the Ravens player, and the Ravens were able to get the ball back. Luke, I'm not too hard on Luke for missing the extra point, although it made a difference in the game. When he missed it, I was like,
missed it. I said this is gonna come back and
yeah,
haunt
this
us.
is gonna come back and haunt us.
It made a difference.
And
Lost
it
by
made a
one.
difference. We lost by one. And so other than that, he kicked pretty well. And so, I had some confidence in him, but yeah, the coverage was not too good. So go ahead. What are you saying about Jay
Coverage is
Alexander?
awful.
Yeah.
So I was talking about how he looked a little rusty, but let's talk about some players that didn't look rusty. They just looked like they could not play.
Yeah.
Let me start with Daniel Falale. Now, let me say this, because no one's giving him credit for this, and I don't know how much credit he deserves for it, but as a unit, the run blocking was off the chart.
Yes.
There was no
for 3.5 quarters.
You cannot complain about the run
Right.
blocking.
Yes.
But his pass blocking, and they're showing him, they're literally putting him in slow mo, showing him in the pass blocking. And thank goodness for Lamar Jackson that can run back and still run up and get you 20 yards, because Falala, whatever his name is, because he out there like fa la 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 la. That's what he out doing, because he is touching literally nobody. He's got to work on that. Like we can't have that. There's no two ways. I wouldn't be surprised if he does not start this game in Cleveland. I would not be surprised, because we're not the only ones seeing this tape. And you're talking about a team with Myles Garrett. We're not the only ones seeing this tape. So
you gonna put Ben Cleveland there?
They may have to. I mean, I don't know if that gets any better, but they may have to. I don't know. Um, Now I'm not going to give Rosengarten too much shit because
Yeah, he got blown up a
Is
couple times. Yeah,
Ed
by Ed
Oliver
Oliver.
is a motherfucking
Yeah,
monster, son.
yeah.
Um, but unpopular opinion outside of our circle because we've talked about this before. And then when asked, I've been asked a couple times, what unit on the Ravens do I think is a little scary? And I've always said on a good team, I think their weakest unit is the linebackers.
Mm, mm,
Roquan Smith
mm,
is not looking. Remember, I said last year he looked like he
mm-hmm.
lost a step, but he was still getting there.
Yeah, yeah. Eight
This
solo
first
tackles.
game, this first game, he did not look like Roquan. Now, what's highlighted is that 50-yard run by Cook where he stiff armed him from the back, but
Right.
he just did not look like he was getting there. However, on the other side of that, the undrafted rookie boy, oh, what's his name? And I even said in our group chat
Oh
they
yeah,
called
he
his name
played
out a few
middle
times.
linebacker. Keep on
He
talking. I'll find him. Teddy
he
Buchanan.
Buchanan was out there. He was just in every play.
Yeah, he had 3 total tackles.
He looked like what we wanted Roquan to look like. He was there, like in every scene, he was there. Um, I'm still not mad at the defense. I someone mentioned Nate Wiggins, and I was like, nah, y'all not giving Nate enough. Y'all not giving Nate enough credit.
Man,
Um,
I think he played fairly well. I mean,
I thought he did too.
you got to have a pass rush, and to me,
Gotta have a pass rush.
Owe has
Oh wait,
been a big disappointment. I thought, okay, he came on. A lot of those sacks was like a Slurpee, empty calories that he
they
had
must be.
last year. He only had one tackle, um, and it wasn't even a solo tackle, and so he only had one tackle the entire game, no sacks. I think the only sack was from Matabike. The
Matabike
line,
said.
Van Noy, he's a little old. Um,
But did
Although
you
he made
notice
some
Van Noy
tackles,
was still getting back there? Van
he was
Noy was
getting
getting
back
some
there.
pressures
He
back
just
there.
couldn't finish it.
No.
That's their thing, really. And that once Buffalo sold out for the pass, starting in the fourth quarter, it was like, yeah, they could not. It was sometimes where they just stopped rushing.
I was about to say they weren't even calling any
Yeah,
blitzes on them. They were
no
rushing four,
blitz.
and the four wasn't getting there. They just
Yeah,
they
I was not pleased with Zach Orr's
I wasn't either.
calls that
I
game.
wasn't either.
I was like, "Where's the blitz packages?
His
Where's the pressure? You're not getting pressure from the front four." They did blitz once, and it got a good result. I think it was Hamilton coming off the corner, but
mhm.
you got all these DBs. You got these. Where's the exotic blitz packages for this game where you're putting people in position to bring more pressure than just letting Josh Allen stand back there and pick apart your defense? Nobody can cover a NFL wide receiver for more than 3 seconds. And this guy,
and
he's standing back there patting the ball.
and that's what I'm about to say. So it's not that I wasn't happy with Zach Orr's defense. I was disappointed in his lack of adjustment coming into that third and fourth quarter when you knew that they were passing and they were going to pass. You
Right.
still were not bringing any blitzes in there. You were not bringing anyone out there. I mean, because they got Keon Coleman, they got Shakir, but is there anybody on their team? Is there any wide receiver out there that we're actually scared of? Because I don't think so. You know what I mean? Like you gotta trust that your guys can play on their man coverage, and you can bring some of them blitzes in there. Like it just wasn't.
Yeah.
They did not make the adjustments that they should have made when it came down to it. A lot of misfortunate things happen. Derrick Henry doesn't fumble until he does fumble.
Right.
I think he's at. I think he was at 588 carries without a fumble.
Right.
His last fumble was in Tennessee, like his second or third year, something like he doesn't fumble until he does, and it was a huge,
Yeah.
huge
The
fumble.
only thing you've got to, and it goes back to the coaching. It goes back to the head coach. You should be sending out there, look, we're trying to ball security. You know, if you can't get that yard, at least secure the ball. We
But
cannot
Derek has
turn the
to know
ball
that.
over. Yeah, he has to know that. You cannot
He
turn over
has
the
to know
ball in
that.
that situation. I know you're
Cannot.
fighting for extra yards, but it's ball security. At that
And you
point,
don't need to
we're
fight
trying.
for
Yeah,
extra
you don't
yards.
need to fight for. We're trying to run the clock. So secure the ball.
Hold it on. If you, matter of
Make them
fact,
take their timeouts early, whatever. Secure the ball.
when you get the ball and you see that 3 or 4 coming at you, just go down. You don't even have to. There's no need to
Right.
even pump your legs. Like you
Right.
just go down. That last series they had before they kicked it off.
Mm-hmm.
They did this a couple times last year, and they did it in the playoffs, and we're all so angry when they do it. So you're trying to get these yards to get the first down, because if you get a first down, the game is over.
Right.
Buffalo knows that you're trying to get this first down. You run a jet sweep, which I think is an awful call, but it makes it worse because the running back that you have back there is Justice Hill. Right. They already know you aren't giving the ball to Justice Hill in this type of situation. Right. You got to have Derrick Henry back there to at least give them the, well, it could be a fake. They've been running a jet sweep all game. This could be that fake jet sweep. You got to have Derrick Henry back there. You cannot run that jet sweep in that situation with Justice Hill back there. And you said, no, knock on Justice Hill. He's good. No, it's a knock on Justice Hill because he's not Derrick Henry. I mean, he's just not. Well, he knows he's not Derrick Henry.
Your head coach has to know that. Your head coach has to know that.
Your head coach has to see that and say, "Oh, what are we doing? No. Even if you got to burn the timeout in that situation, even if you got to have the threat there, or you got to call out of that play." Like I just,
your head coach.
They do sometimes they do some things that just make you scratch your head. Like, what are y'all thinking about? I just,
So just another instance of the team being outcoached, and it costing them the game. And we're not guaranteed that this window is going to stay open forever. They got some big contract decisions to make coming up after the season. Likely. Andrews, they need to re-up Lamar, all of those things. And so the complexion of this team, the complexion of this team is going to be changing within the next season. And so this is the time now. This is the time now. And if they can't do it, you're going to have to make some changes going down the road. And so, man, let's talk about a couple other games and then get into the pigskin pick 'em. The Eagles, they opened up their title defense on last Thursday with a 20-24 win, closer than a lot of people anticipated over the Cowboys. This was Calvin's upset, one of his upset specials. He had picked the Cowboys, and really the Cowboys should have won this game.
They should have won that game.
CD Lamb dropped about 2 catchable passes. The last one that he dropped, that one he was diving. It hit his hands, but that's a more difficult.
Lamb.
I'm talking about
CD. No, that's what I'm saying. He's CD Lamb. He diving and it hit his hands. He got to catch that.
Yeah.
He's CD. And in that situation, he's got to. Yeah. But it was hard.
Jalen Hurts, he rushed for 2 touchdowns. I mean, and that's a perfect example of putting your best player in the best situation to help your team win. Absolutely. They come down to that last play. They needed a first down. What did they do? They spread the formation, left Hurts back there in the backfield by himself. The Cowboys did not have a counter to it. He runs for the first down. Game over. As opposed, that's what I'm saying. How come we don't have the fortitude of we have the best running quarterback in NFL history? Let's clear the backfield out and make these people play us straight up and stop our best player.
On the third down, they did spread them out, and they had DeAndre run that corner slant, but he was short.
He's short, yeah. Short. I don't know why you run. Anyway, that's what I'm saying.
You passed the first down, sir. And another thing about the Ravens game, real quick, they lost. And because they lost, we could not talk about. You talked about it. that amazing one-hand catch that
It was
DeAndre,
beautiful.
we should be on that. Everybody should be on that. Like, that's what he's there for. That's what we have not had since an Anquan Bolden. Steve Smith, possibly. But no one does it like him. Devontae Adams, the only other player I can think that does it like DeAndre Hopkins.
Right.
Anyway, Cowboys.
All right.
Eagles.
Cowboys close. They played a good game offensively. You could tell that they missed Michael Parsons. They didn't have any pass
Absolutely.
rush.
Yeah,
The Chargers, they beat the Chiefs in Brazil 27-21. Very good game behind 3 touchdown passes by Justin Herbert. You did call that game correctly. The Chargers defense held Pat Mahomes to 1 passing touchdown and 1 rushing touchdown. As a matter of fact, Mahomes was the leading rusher in the entire game for both teams. Your boy Hollywood, he had 10 catches for 99 yards, even though, that he dropped a couple. Still did some Hollywood Brown stuff, but the Chiefs lost. And then Aaron Rodgers, he threw 4 touchdown passes to lead the Steelers over his former team, the New York Jets, at MetLife. Asked after the game, was it satisfying to beat a team that told you that they no longer wanted you? He said, yeah, it's great to be anyone associated with the Jets.
I'm not an Aaron Rodgers fan,
No,
but I love that. I love that.
It was nice and starky. The guy pushing like, I mean, yeah, they told you they didn't want you. I mean, was this, just
made
just
fly to
reward?
New York on
Yeah,
his
they
own
made you fly.
time.
Yeah, they made
On
you
his
come out
own
here,
time.
and they brought you in and told you that you sucked balls. They told you to kiss their ass. I mean, was this the best revenge ever?
That's probably why he picked the Steelers. He probably was like, who play the Jets that need a
Right.
quarterback?
Right. Yeah.
And
so,
game 1, 2.
Yeah, good game. And so let's go to Pigskin Pick'em. Now, Calvin wants to come up, y'all. He trying to skirt the he's trying to make up some new rules because he know he ain't have a good week. I'm just joking.
No.
I'm joking. Nah, he trying. Nah, y'all. He trying
to make it a little more efficient.
Right.
Instead of calling just the games that we disagreed on, that we differed on. That's how we keep the score. And you win it 5-3. Although the Bears should have won last night. Also, the Bears should have won and the Cowboys should have won. I should be up 5-3.
But you're not. And so sorry.
Touche, my nigga.
Sorry, my guy. So I picked the Eagles, the Eagles over the Cowboys, the Bucks over the Falcons. Also, I picked the Packers over the Lions, Rams over the Texans, and the Vikings game. I picked the Vikings over the Bears. And Calvin had the Chargers over the Chiefs, which I failed on. He also had the Jaguars. That was a good win over the Panthers. And he had the Niners over the Seahawks. So we were even on the rest of the calls. And so let's go ahead and go into this week 2 Thursday night game. The Commanders, they go up to Green Bay facing, I mean, they love Micah up there. Defense looked great. They ran through the Lions. The Moles, they handled the Giants, but it wasn't a blowout. Giants was in there for a little bit, but the Giants are not that good. And so, who are you taking in this game?
They're going up to Green Bay. I have to take the Packers on this one. I should have taken the Packers against the Lions last week. I knew better, but I'm gonna take the Packers on this
one. All right, I'm taking the Pack as well at home, opening at home on a Thursday night. No travel day for them, although it is a short week. Usually the home teams do better on Thursday nights. The Jaguars, they head up to Cincinnati to play the Bengals. The Bengals won their first game. It was a tight game. Joe Flacco, he played well, but his receivers didn't give him any help. Couple interceptions off of their hands. Their field goal kicker.
Burrow.
You
said Flacco.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm thinking about the Browns. I'm thinking about the Browns. Yeah. And so Joe Burrow, he played all right. Well, forget about him. But anyway, Jaguars. Who are you taking? Jaguars against
yeah, they barely escaped Cleveland, man.
But the Browns, I mean, they got a good defense. I mean, let's not forget.
They do. There's no and the Bengals don't have much of an O line that they really did not improve on. But the Jaguars still have Trevor Lawrence, and they don't really have much of anything else. I'm gonna go ahead and take Cincinnati. I'm gonna take
All
the
right.
Bengals.
The Bengals. I'm taking the Bengals as well at home. Giants. They go down to Dallas, playing in Jerry's house. The Cowboys.
Yeah, give me the Cowboys. Give me Jerry and the what's the documentary called? A guy and his
Yeah,
boys or some shit.
the gambler and his boys.
Yeah.
That BS. I'm
I'm
taking the
taking that.
Cowboys as well. The Bears coming off a game that they were really in. The defense let them down. I think Williams played pretty well at quarterback. They look pretty good. They go up to the D. What up, though? To play the Lions.
The Lions are looking for some revenge, and they can get it with the Bears. I'm gonna take Detroit.
All right. I'm going to take the Bears on this one.
Oh, there's where we differ right there.
That's
Let
when
me
we
write
different
that
one.
down.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Bears on this one. The Pats, they lost to the Raiders. Unfortunately, a West Coast team coming east, they did have a little
Yeah,
advantage, but they were not able
didn't think
to
that.
win the game. Drake May didn't play all that great, but they facing the team that played terrible on Sunday, the Dolphins. They lost to Jones and the Colts, and so Daniel Jones and the Colts. I think it was 33-8. Who are you taking in this game? They're going down to South Beach.
Yeah, I'm going. I'm taking the Pats, man. I think the Dolphins are done.
I'm taking the Dolphins. Excuse me. I'm taking the Pats as well. I agree with you. I don't really think. And I just saw that Tyreek Hill has some more domestic violence charges against him that was lodged by his wife. Just came out in the press. The Niners, they head down to Nolens to get some po' boys. They're gonna go by the spot and get some beignets over there near Jackson Square. They're gonna be hanging out on Bourbon. Then they're gonna stomp the Saints. Who you taking?
I just saw that Brock Purdy has multiple injuries. He's not guaranteed to start in the game against the Saints.
Don't
I
make
don't
me
know,
vote.
man. I'm still taking the 49ers.
All right, get ready, say. I'm taking the Niners as well. The Bills, they head down to the city from upstate New York. They're heading over to MetLife to play the Jets. Jets play very well. Um, Definitely will say that the quarterback, he looked very good. 3 touchdowns, I believe, as well. Protected the ball. Bills, they're susceptible to the run. The Colts. The Ravens just ran up and down that team, and I would be a little nervous because their defense really didn't stop them. The Ravens stopped themselves, and so who are you taking in this game?
Yeah, but the Jets also don't have Lamar Jackson or Derrick Henry.
True.
Give me the Bills. Bills are the second best team in the NFL. That's right, second best.
Who's the first bet?
Second best.
Who's the first?
Let's go Ravens.
Uh-huh. Is John Harbaugh still the coach there?
No, we've already fired him.
All right, all right, all right. I'm taking the Bills as well. Seahawks, they come east to play the Steelers up in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, man. The Seahawks looked impressive to me.
They played well. They just,
Yeah,
they gave up a couple bad
I
catches, and
I mean, yeah, they look well. But I don't know, man. Aaron Rodgers looked like a man on a mission. Give me the Steelers.
yeah, and this is going to be DK Metcalf's revenge game
Revenge
against the team
game.
that just
Yeah.
traded him. So we'll see how it performs. I take the Steelers as well. The Rams, they head out to Tennessee to take on the Titans.
I'm not a Los Angeles Rams believer, but
Hmm.
their receivers, I think Puka got hurt. He had to come out the game for a little bit. I'm still take the Rams though.
Yeah,
Give
I'm
me the Rams.
taking the Rams as well. We're kind of like almost neck and neck on these picks
That's because you
together.
biting my picks.
Anyway, all right, I'm gonna start going first for these last couple ones. Panthers versus Cardinals. Panthers head out to Arizona to Lil Man. Lil Man played pretty well last week. Cardinals won. Um, I was expecting more out of the Panthers in that game last week. I thought they had a legitimate pass
You
chance
really
to beat
did,
the
didn't you?
Jaguars. I did. I really did pick them with my chest, and so I'm not gonna pick them with my chest this week. I'm gonna go with the Cardinals.
Yeah, I'm taking Little Man and the Cards
Little
also.
man, little man. The Broncos. This might be a good game. They head out to Indianapolis to play the Colts. Colts look very good with Daniel Jones. Maybe that's the Dolphin defense, though. They're not that good. Broncos defense looked pretty good in that win, but it's the Titans. It's the team that's had the first pick last year, and so they're rebuilding. Um, I'm gonna go with the Broncos on this.
Yeah, for the Peyton Manning Bowl, I'm taking the Broncos also.
Yeah. I like the Broncos' new color scheme with their jerseys, though, and their uniforms, that orange and all that stuff. J.K. Dobbins, he scored last week. He's out there playing with the Broncos. Rematch of the Super Bowl. Chiefs. It's gonna be rough for them. They're home though. The Eagles are heading out to KC, having some barbecue. And it's a little rematch of the Eagles Chiefs Super Bowl. I'm going to take the Eagles on this.
Yeah, you have to take the Eagles. AJ Brown didn't really do much. He's going to be looking to get something because he been in Jalen Hurts' ear all week. Yeah, y'all didn't even throw me the ball, but in the fourth quarter, I'm gonna take the Eagles also. I'm gonna take the tush pushes.
All right. Yeah, the Chiefs also Worthy. He's out for a couple weeks with a separated shoulder, running into Travis Kelsey or Swifty, Travis Swift. That's his name.
Travis Swift.
The Falcons, they head up to Minnesota to take on the Vikings. J.J. McCarthy, he actually looked pretty good last night.
Really good.
His head coach is the quarterback whisperer. I mean, he's got basically a guy that's a rookie, and he had him playing well last night. Michael Penix and the Falcons. I'm going to take the Vikes on this.
Yeah, I want to take the Falcons, but I took them last week and they disappointed me. I'm going to go ahead and take Minnesota.
All right, we got 2 Monday night games. The Bucks, they head on down to Houston, hang out with Beyonce, get a little chopped and screwed. They're taking on the Texans in Houston. Who you got on that?
Oh. The Bucks showed me something when they went to Atlanta. Houston's offensive line still had Stroud on the run. Houston didn't look very good last week at home. So I'm going to take the Bucks on the road.
All right. I have the Bucks as well. And we got Chargers and Raiders. They're in Vegas. You know what? I picked the Chargers for this one, but they'll get back to who they are. I'm going to take the Raiders, actually. Who you take?
What?
Yeah, I initially had the Chargers down as my pick, but I'm gonna change. Chargers, they played very well last week, but they're gonna revert to who they normally are, and they're going to Vegas too. So I think the Raiders will be fired up home opener.
The Chargers just beat the Chiefs. Anyway, I'll take the Chargers. So we only differ on 2. I get the Lions on 1 and the Chargers on the other. So by the end of next week 2, we'll be tied 5-5 because you're going to lose both of these, sir.
We'll see. And, of course, we're both taking the Ravens over the Browns.
Yeah. Shit. Are we? Who's coaching?
That's true, though. Hey, you ain't never lie. And so we're both taking the Packers over the Commanders, Ravens over the Browns, Bengals over the Jags, Cowboys over the Giants. We split on Bears, Lions. I'm taking the Bears, Calvin's taking the Lions. We're taking the Pats over the Dolphins, Niners over the Saints, Bills over Jets, Steelers over Seahawks, Rams over Titans, Cardinals over Panthers, Broncos over Colts, Eagles over Chiefs. We're both taking Vikings over Falcons. We're taking Bucks over Texans, and we split on Chargers, Raiders. Calvin's taking Chargers. I'm taking the Raiders.
You got I don't have any upsets this week. I don't.
This is kind of like a little.
Well, you got the Raiders over the Chargers.
Yeah, I got the Raiders over Chargers.
You got the Bears over the Lions.
The Bears played the Lions very good over the past couple seasons. I think the Lions are licking their wounds a little bit. They're trying to find their way. It's tough losing your OC in DC in the same season.
They're gonna come out biting some kneecaps. Ain't that what Dan Campbell said?
They're gonna bring Eminem out. They're gonna bring Royce the 5'9". They're gonna go find what's his name?
The Bears bringing out Clarence from the free world.
Right.
Jeff Goff.
They're gonna bring out Lotto.
Jeff Goff gonna go up to Caleb and be like, I know I'm white. I know I didn't win the Super Bowl. I know we got eliminated by the Commanders.
Right.
Tell these people what else you got to say about me.
Exactly. Lotto, I can't understand you. Man, now we at the part of the show. Everybody does. Come on, yo. You gotta come on, yo, for us tonight.
I do, man. And I talked about this on social media today. Listen, Ravens fans, I've been giving you all at least, I'm going to say, the end of last year. And y'all still ain't figured this out. All right, let's start here. Lamar Jackson did not donate his whole salary to a needy charity in Baltimore. Ray Lewis is not part owner of the Ravens. Steve Bisciotti did not announce that there will be $5 game tickets this season. The Ravens did not turn down a deal from Tesla to endorse them. If y'all don't stop looking at these phony ass Ravens websites on Facebook, listen, let me just give
You
you
mean
a hint.
Ravens Wire, Lamar Wire?
Ravens Wire, uh, Flock, Purple Flock, Ravens Flock, Black
Right.
Flock, Waka Flocka. None of that shit is true. Stop reposting that shit. A simple Google search will help you out. I can't listen. Some of the things I'm just like, all right, if y'all want to believe Ray Lewis is part owner, that's because, y'all just dumb. But if y'all want to believe that, y'all can. But y'all believe that the Baltimore Ravens, a team that just renovated the entire stadium, are selling $5 tickets. $5 tickets in
Where?
Baltimore, nonetheless.
Where?
The
On Pennsylvania
preseason games
Avenue?
aren't even $5. You can't even park down there for $5.
No, you can't.
The practices, where they don't play anybody but themselves, they not even $5. You can't even get on one of them scooters to go to the stadium for $5. Come on, Ravens fans. Come on, yo. Again, Big Purple. I believe Purple. Purple Urkel. None of that shit is true.
Purple.
None of that shit
That's Urkel's
is true.
weed strain. Purple Urkel.
Well, they think it's a real website. Google. If it comes from Adam Schefter, it might be true. Not the one that says not Adam Schefter.
Right.
Here's a clue if it says not Adam Schefter. Here's a clue for you. It's not Adam Schefter. Come on, y'all. If it says not Adam Schefter, then guess what, y'all? It's not Adam Schefter. Bruh. Come on, y'all. I'm so sick of seeing y'all and not only when y'all reposted that Steve Bisciotti is giving $5 tickets out for the game, but y'all were like, well, when is that game? Because I could take the whole family. Your kids' high school games ain't even $5.
Right. Come on. It costs more to go see Dunbar play. It's some $5.
Oh my gosh, yo. I get so mad when I see y'all smart people. People I know that are smart. Oh, Ray Lewis is part owner of the team.
Yeah, they be
it's
showing
about
me.
time we got somebody up there.
I don't mean to laugh when they show me. I just be trying to keep my face like, yeah, that's not real. That's not real.
And I don't know how y'all believe it. Let me, as a matter of fact, let me do a Ray Lewis for y'all. When I see y'all posting stuff like that, my God.
Yeah, man. I don't
Come
know.
on, y'all.
I don't
Stop
it. We gotta just go with Jeff Reback, Adam Schefter, and leave it at that.
Go to Twitter. There was a time where Twitter was putting out a lot of bad stuff, but that was years ago.
Right.
Twitter is an amazing source of information. God damn it, you can go to TikTok and get information.
Go with the national people. Go Mina Kimes. There's a guy, Ben Solak. He's good. He writes for ESPN. He used to write for The Ringer. Stick with them. Yes. Bill Simmons. Stick with them.
Birds of Baltimore, the Black Baltimore, whores of Baltimore. None of that is true. I yield my time.
Yeah. Come on, Baltimore infrastructure. Can y'all get these streets fixed? For real. For real, for real. All right, Mayor Scott, you've done an outstanding job reducing crime. I talked about it. Love what you're doing. You moved Artscape. Some people loved this, some people didn't, but it went off well. You've done a lot of things to try to address the city and to build the city up, and it's working. Kudos to you and your administration. But there is something that's going on downtown and just about every place other than downtown is the streets is jacked. Calvin, I try to come in to work off the highway sometimes. Sometimes I might go take the highway to come in. Usually I cut through the city. It's a little jack coming through the city too. But there is like about 10 road projects taking place in a 3 mile radius of Charles Street. Where the street's been, Calvin, they ripped up one street. They didn't even finish paving it. There's a big dip in the middle of the street. They didn't even pave the whole street correctly. It's like you come and then there's a dip and people trying to swerve their cars so they don't bust their tires up. Yeah, then you going up, you think the lane open and then the lane's closed. And yeah, man, Scott, I know y'all trying to, get your city together, and the city's old, and the infrastructure is falling apart. So you're replacing pipes and all those things, conduit things under the ground. But can y'all do that when we're not trying to get into work for us commuters, for our people with first world problems, our people that are coming from the suburbs? I like to get to my office with relatively ease. I want to get to the garage with some ease. Could you make it easy for me, a commuter who doesn't pay taxes in the city, to get to my job in the city? I know that's selfish, but please, please, sir, downtown. I work downtown, so could you please, get DOT and the other guys? Maybe y'all do that, like not during peak hours. Y'all shouldn't be doing road construction between 7 and 9 o'clock. People trying to get to work. You shouldn't be closing the lanes at 3:30, 4 o'clock, because people try to go home. So yeah, and the lights too. Can y'all do something about them lights? Because them lights, they're not quite syncy. And and yeah. But I love the city though. I'm a city native. But for us Hartford Estates people, can you make it smoother for us when we get off of Moravia, when we get off 895, and can you make it a little smoother so we can get downtown? Thank you. That's all
Listen,
I got.
listen, and you call me club level Cal, but when I'm trying to go to my club level, and I'm sitting in the car trying to eat my Grey Poupon, I keep shaking because we keep hitting the goddamn bumps, and when I'm trying to talk to the driver, it sounds like I'll be like, okay,
Yeah, it's
that's
rough.
because we keep hitting the bumps. Then the city got the nerve to have them signs up and say we are improving it for you. For how long?
Right.
For how long?
How long you
Because
gonna
y'all
take to do
patch up
that
the little
improvement, sir?
potholes. They patch up the potholes, and then as soon as it rains, them holes are coming back again. I don't know. Y'all not using Dawn or something.
Calvin, they
Because
had something. They had some type of contraction where water was coming out of some pipe, but they would just let it run down the street. But it was just they didn't have it covered up. People driving over yeah. Can y'all do something about that,
and I agree with you that you can't be doing the work in the middle of the work day
please?
and
Yeah,
in
you
the
come
morning
on.
and stuff.
Right.
But the problem is they done moved all the illegals out of the country, and the
Oh
black
God.
people are like, I'm not with you. I can't work. Listen, we got a bunch of big reds in here. My office hours are 9 to 5. You get
Right.
some essays out there. You be like, hey, can y'all come in at 2 o'clock in the morning,
He
2
said
a.m., 3 a.m.?
essays.
Just let me know. I get my cousin.
He said,
We come
he
in.
said, he said essays, y'all. Hit the goodbye music.
Get some
He said
essays.
essays.
I get my cousin. We come in. How many do you need?
Why you sound like Speedy Gonzalez?
That's what that's I go I go to they up at the Home Depot, and then they tell their peoples, and they be like, oh, what time we get off?
Why you sound
We get off at
why
7,
you sounding
and we
like
can go to
Speedy?
the Home Depot, catch some more work. Oh, oh, oh.
He gonna stop. Why you sounding like Speedy?
Hey man, we're live on YouTube right now.
You have
catch
been
us on
listening
all the
to
podcast
the B.I.G. Show. This show was
Tomorrow when I
produced
drop
and
this
written
shit,
by
if you have
Calvin Coates
Spotify, you'll
and
be able
Garland
to see
Thomas
our
for All Things
beautiful
Black
mugs
Productions.
while
Follow
Garland
us on
is
all
being
of your
racist over
podcast media platforms.
Hey man, I don't know. Maybe if we had some essays on our payroll, then hey, when you want it dropped, 3 a.m.
Mr. Calvin, when you want that? See, I'm joining in with you. Get out of
I
here.
drop it at 3 a.m. for you. Hey, you do, I do. I give you good price too. Good price. Later, man.